Hey guys, Scott here with Everyday Home Repair. I'm going to show you how to do a quick, easy update to your recessed lighting by using a simple retrofit kit such as this one, where it will both update your trim for a 5 or 6 inch recessed lighting and also give you an LED bulb that might save you a little money over time. So stay tuned. In order to successfully complete the installation of the LED retrofit kit, the tools needed are really minimal. Depending on your ceiling height and also your reach, you're probably going to need some form of step ladder to make sure you can easily access the recessed lighting fixture during the job. And then a few things to reference when you're looking at selecting the correct retrofit kit is starting off with the brightness. So how bright you actually want this LED. You can reference what is currently installed there, whether it's an incandescent bulb or maybe it's a compact fluorescent. You can reference if you like the brightness where it's at and then select the correct lumens for that, or if you want to go up or down in brightness. The second, and especially with LEDs, you'll deal with this kind of color that people talk about. Do you want a warm white light, which is more like a 2700 or 3000 Kelvin? Again, don't get hung up on not knowing what a Kelvin is or the rating system. Just understand it's usually like a warm white light or a natural daylight. And the natural daylight, you'd be looking for around like a 5000 Kelvin range. Then most of them are dimmable, so just make sure if you do want your LEDs to be dimmable that it says that's compatible for that. And then make sure you have the correct lighting fixture. So are you dealing with 4-inch, 5-inch, or 6-inch? And that's going to be the diameter of that recessed lighting can fixture. And then to start off, let's go ahead and make sure everything's safe. So we'll turn off the power at the circuit breaker box, and I'll show you guys how to do that. All right, first up, we are going to want to turn off the power just to make sure we're safe while we're swapping out the trim kits for the recessed lights. So go ahead and go out to, if you have a panel out in your garage or in another portion of your house. And sometimes these are well documented. So here we're going to be looking for the living room, which is actually number 12. We can go, you can barely see it, but that one's 12 here, and we'll turn that off. Also, if you don't have the nice labeling here that your electrician originally did, you can go ahead and work through these breakers, and then when you flip it off, you'll see the lights go off inside, and that's going to give you confidence that your power is off before starting. All right, so let's go ahead and get started by removing the old trim pieces here and bulb assembly from the recessed lighting. Even without a screwdriver or anything, you can kind of pull down that trim kit, and what you're going to see is you're going to see these little springs, these little metal springs. So what you want to do is pinch those together, and sometimes this takes a little work, or sometimes they come out really easy, and you kind of work those away from the little clips on the inside. And on the other side, you will see how those are being secured in there. So those little clips, so you just reach into there, take one side off, and then we'll go ahead and take that other side off. Switch hands here. There you go. So now the assembly is taken off. Depending on what you're working with, you might have something like this, which has a little socket connector, and then these little spring clips here. Those little spring clips you're going to need to remove to take out the socket from the trim kit. But first, if you haven't already, we go ahead and remove that bulb from the kit. And you can usually do this first before you even get started. And then what we're going to want to do, again, with two hands, it's a little easier. One hand, not so easy. We'll go ahead and remove those clips. So remove those clips, and then we get that housing out of there. You can see how old and discolored, and even a little paint or mud on there, all sorts of good stuff. So you take that out, and now you'll see what you're working with. You got that little pigtail socket, and that's really what we're going to fit into with the new trim kit, retrofit kit. All right, so now we're ready for the new Retrofit kit. You can see here, this one works for both 5 and 6 inch. It is dimmable, and something probably a little bit different than your project. These are specifically tiltable heads because they will be providing light to our fireplace. We'll jump in and see what's in the box here. Overall, pretty simple. There's not much to these kits. It comes with some instructions. Does come with a label here that you should put on the inside of the recessed lighting, and this will give some additional information about the specific kit that you're using. So if you're a homeowner or even yourself can reference that if you ever need to service or change out the kits in the future. And then some instructions here that kind of go through a similar setup. It actually is a little bit different in the picture. This would be if that socket was in a bracket and that bracket is adjustable. You will need, if this bracket is down in your recessed lighting, you will need to adjust that up or even possibly remove it entirely, and then you'll have that loose pigtail and socket just like we had in our example. So there are different designs, and you might have a little bit different version than what you saw when we removed ours. All right, so this is really all in one unit. Not too complex. We'll take it out of the cardboard here. So you have your spring clips. Some of these kits, you'll have to install the spring clip kits. On this one, they already come installed. The screw's already in there. You will see there's an additional mounting hole here that can be used if you're needing the 5-inch recessed lighting. This one's a 6. It's set up for a 6 right away, and ours is 6, so we'll leave those in place. And then you'll see the socket. That will screw right in. That goes to then a little 2-pin connector. Really, that's it. So you have that trim piece that hopefully fits up well to cover the same amount of area as your last kit that you removed, and then this one specifically has a tiltable head that will be able to position to light the fireplace a little bit better. All right, so now we're back here at the recess lighting. I did take the pigtail off here, so now I just have the socket, which I'm going to go ahead and install here. Tighten that up. Don't over tighten that. That can give you some issues too. And then I'll take the trim kit and the bulb, and I will connect up this connector here. Okay. And really now we're ready to start to put in these springs into those brackets. That will help to hold that snug up into the canister there. All right, so we got 3 in. The last one's usually the toughest, but still really easy to do. Okay, so now they're all in, and now it's just a question of kind of working that back up and kind of getting a nice seated position there for that light. Okay, and then that will, and again, this one is tiltable for us, so we'll kind of work with that head and tilt it and get it worked around so it provides light where we want it. Thanks for joining us, guys. Hopefully you got something out of that. If you have any questions, jump in, throw a comment in there, and we'll be happy to help you out with any questions you might have. And look down in the description, and we'll give you a few options for similar retrofit kits, probably running between $10 and $20 for each light. And subscribe to the channel. We'll continue to bring you these quick and easy repairs and improvements that you can do around the house here at Everyday Home Repairs. Take care.